everybody. Friday, 2 o'clock. Well, it's 2 minutes past 2 to be fair. On the 17th of May. And here we are for tile number 443. So not far off that 500 one now. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's a nice day outside. There's no rain. It's nice and warm here today, which makes a change. But yeah, all good. So if we're ready, what have I got? Regular pen, pencil, tortillon. And I thought I might introduce you to our new, yeah, look at those. But maybe I'll just show you that one and not even show you how they work. But okay, what do I have? Yeah, I've got my lovely crafty colour tile. So it's like a brownish kind of tile going on there. Pen, pencil, tortillon, all the regular bits and pieces. And let's make a start. So what I'm going to do with, I'm going to start with pencil. Just my regular pencil. And I want to put myself a little bit of a line in just to sort of help me. And maybe not even a line, you know. Maybe I'm going to put some bubbles. So let's start. Doesn't matter which way we go with this. It's not too sort of small. Keep it kind of a decent size. Keep it light though, because you're not going to need this bubble completely when you're finished. It's sort of a bit of an arc. Imagine a bit of an arc there, but it's a little bit of a random kind of shape working it around. There you go. Okay, so it's sort of of a wonky shape there, but let's zoom in and I'm going to show you what I want you to do with them. So first of all, it doesn't matter where we start. I'm going to go here and I'm going to come in and create a curve over them. See, I'm going slightly over the bubbles there, and then the next one I'm going to do same thing, but it's going to go that way. See, it's just slightly over the bubbles, and then this way. And this way, and this way. So you see each time it's repeating that design. So I'm going to go slightly off the page there. So if I go right the way back to the top there, now we know what we're doing. I can kind of do that one as well. Okay, so let's bring in the pen. And I'm going to start with one. Yeah, I'll start with this one because I've drawn it in. I'm going to follow that in like so. But then I'm going to do an extra line above it, like that. And being that I'm on this side, I'm going to do the same with these. So, of course, you've got the opportunity, if you need to, that you can change your shape slightly. I don't think it really needs it. Put one in there. And I move it down. Same thing. So in and along and double up the line. So far so good. That's straightforward, isn't it? Next one. Okay. Same thing. Now you see I've gone quite over a bit there, haven't I? So I'm going to come around a little bit there. So, you know, the pencil's always a guide. You can always change it if you need to. There you are. All right. So I'm going to do the same on this side now. So whether you want to leave it as this and draw it that way, or whether you want to turn it round, and whatever's comfortable for you, as always. Let's put those shapes in like that. Let's see. Let's just zoom out a little bit then. And again, this one. So I'm going to go over there and then double up on that line, like so. And again, over. See, I've extended that a bit there, make that a bit bigger. And then again, along the top edge. And same again, look, along there. And along there. So I've got that kind of a little border design. So I'm going to remove those pencil lines now. Always make sure your pen's dry though. You don't want to be smudging it at this early stage. You don't want any stage, honestly, but there you go. All right, so we've got something that's workable there. Okay, like that. So I'm going to bring in one of my thicker pens. I'm probably going to use my brush. And I want to really get some black into these shapes here. That's why we didn't really need those bubbles afterwards. It's changed into a completely different shape. need that off there. And that one. See, I'm doing all that are facing the same way to start with. Find it easier to draw those. And then I can come back so you can do this way. Now, I know not everybody's into doing that, the brush pen thing, but I really like it. So you can use any pen you like, it doesn't matter. Okay, so there we go. All right, that's that little bit done. So back to pen. And doesn't matter which side you work on. I mean, they're relatively even, but whatever you want to do. I'm going to start sort of in the middle with this little line here. And I'm going to follow it so it's going underneath, but then it comes up and out. And I'm going to put a little kink on the end. Okay? And the next line, same sort of thing. Quite so. And then the kink's going to go that way. And what I can do here, look, is put a little bit of a curve on the top. Okay? So let's zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to start in the, first of all, I think little bubbles. Can never have too many. All right. And then a little petal shape in the middle there. Put a couple little flicks in. And then one on this side. Again, little flicks. And one on this side. Little flicks. Okay, let's have a zoom out so you can see where that is. Okay, so I'm going to sort of do similar to all of these shapes. So we've got one coming out here, look, so I'm going to sort of come up and around and create, see that little kink? Curve over the top and put the bubbles in. And then up and over. So this one is going to sort of be in front, behind, that kind of thing going on there. Again, some little flicks going in there. So this one here, if I was to do it this way, it's going off the piece. So we can bring it back round and keep it going in there, see? Like so. A little curve over the top there. And bubbles. And then around, forming those little shapes there. And little flicks. Gives us this. Now this one, I am going to take this way, so we're going to have it sort of going off the edge there, because there's not much more we can do with that. It'd look different, it'd look a bit weird coming back in there, so why not do that? Let's bring this one in though. And curve on the top. And put some bubbles in. And again, up and over, like so. And up and over. Get some little flicks in there. And of course, got one here, so you can decide whether you want to go round or whether you want to sort of work in a similar way. So there's that little sort of kink at the top, then a curve, then bubbles, and up and out. Now this one, look, it's going to sort of wander off the side of the piece there. Again, a couple of little flicks, and then one here. So you're going to see a little bit of this one, I think, sort of in there. All right, so I'm going to come back to this side in a moment, but it's always nice to work and balance the piece out as you go. So you've got a choice here. You could actually do this side all in white pen if you wanted to, or in a different colour. It's nice to have that contrast, and we've done that on a couple of tiles recently. So I'm going to stick with this pen for now and go with that. So, okay. We've done this kind of shape here, so we're going to do something similar on this side. We're going to follow that line as we did before. So round it comes. And then I'm going to create almost like a curl on it. We know where this is going. And then it's going to come back around on itself. See, it makes like a little bobble on the top. And then let's have it coming back around to join where it started there, you see? So it looks like it's completely going underneath there. So let's pick this one, and again I can work that one round. So, and look, it's coming to a curve. Looks like a little smile, look. And it comes back in, and we put a little curve in there. And then back around. And along, you see, and then into my shape there. So this one. So this time, look, I'm going to do that in one complete movement. But of course, you've seen it now as I've done it, taking my time and putting 2 sort of steps in, or 3. So 1, 2, and then 3. However you're comfortable with doing them. Okay. And then another one there. Oh, let's go off the board then. Okay. Heads together, look. And there. All right. So I'm going to do a few more of these, but I'm going to have them sort of coming off this, so I can't do any more on the curves because I don't have any. So we're going to attach them to each other. So there's my first one. See how it goes underneath that one there? Okay, we could even actually, you know, see with this one here, I could even, oh, look at that for coincidence, didn't plan that. Build it in so it looks like it's going around there. You know? Okay, like that. So let's do another one. Let's go sort of open around here. Now, of course, if you're not sure where to stop and start because they're going underneath each other, you can always draw them in pencil first. So I am going to take it back to that line, look. Yeah. And then draw them in pen afterwards. So let's follow that one down, see, like this. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap here, isn't there? So let's bring another one. Actually, which way to go? I'm going to go this way, look. And create another one there. Okay, so that's sort of disappearing underneath, and then I'm going to do another one that way. So let's sort of fill that gap in there. And then look, there's another little gap there. So maybe just one in there, look, going that way. So it's always about, you know, having a look at your own piece and thinking where there's particularly any bits of space that you can fill in. Put them in, like so. Okay, let's turn it round. Let's have a look at this side. Okay, so I'm going to just come in a little bit, because what I want to do now is, let's go from sort of here. I'm going to come in with a curve. And then a second curve, but you see it gets narrower and narrower to a point. And then from that top point there, I'm going to create a little, almost like a little love heart shape, see? Little love heart. And all starts from that pointed shape. And little love heart shape. So let's just move out a little bit, see? So let's put a few more of these in. Kind of a pointed shape and love heart. So I'm going to dot these around the place. You know, they're going to sit amongst these flowers here. And you can put as many as you like in. You can change colour if you want. You could do it in, again, you could mix and match, do it black and white. You could bring a different colour pen in. Actually, I haven't used my fine liners for ages, have I? They're really nice colours. So I should get those out, and we should do one with that. So looking at this, you see we've got a little bit of a shape here. That's fine. I'm focusing mostly on this area here. So I'm going to put another one sort of here. We can always add more. It's always nice to sort of look, isn't it? Okay. So we'll come back round to this side now. And looking at my space, you see here where I've got one interconnected, it's giving me a space there. I'm going to fill that with bubbles, starting in the middle, look. And one way, then the other. Let's fill those gaps in. You could also do that with stripes and all sorts of things. It's nice to sort of gives you a little bit of extra interest there. I'm not going to do it there because it's not quite the same. You see, when it's got this whole shape, you could do more of these inside it, look, little ones. But I'm going to leave it because I am going to bring some bubbles in around this bottom edge. Not too small. See? And where it's sort of got little gaps, I'm going to fill them in like so. But I'm not going to completely fill the whole of the shape. See, some of them are going to sort of be a little bit loose. But they're not, see, it's not gone across the whole base. And I'm just filling in little areas. Too small. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that on camera. That was somebody definitely speeding. Okay. So fill that bit in. Have a few going on in here. See how it just sort of creates this sort of little bit of interest on this bottom edge. Whereas before it was simply a line. Now it's a little foundation, isn't it, for something? And I'll put a few in this sort of corner here. We'll fill any gaps. See? So we've sort of got two halves going on, haven't we? Two sides. So let's have a look at this little bit here then. Now, if you want to, you can bring a straight edge in, or you could do this freehand. Let's gonna have a look at my little kit. I think I've got. Yeah, I love this A4 folder. It really means that I've got everything with me. Okay, so I'm going to put myself a bit of an edge there, but I'm not going to join it to this shape there. Okay, same here, look, it's going to have a little bit of a gap. Okay, and then I'm going to work my way around that design there. All right, leaving a little bit of a gap, coming around. Not going to go all the way in. I'm just interested in this sort of corner feature. All right, so I've got a bit of a shape there. Okay, so let's have a look on the other side. Now I've got a little bit of a shape there, so I'm going to make the most of that and do something similar. So I'm not going to cross the whole thing. I'm adding in just a little bit of it. And then I can come in and find the shape here. So again, I'm not going to go all the way in there. I'm going to gently work around it. So I've got kind of two shapes. All right. So what I want to do in these, I want to do a bit of a grid. This one, I've got a bigger space. So I'm going to start in the corner. I'm not going to sort of draw both at once. And I'm going to make it, I don't know, 0.5 centimetre, 5mm kind of grid size. It doesn't have to be whatever you want it to be. But you see, it's a bit of an angle. I've started in that point first. It's a really nice reference. And then you can sort of work both sides from that. And see, coming in there. And then I'm going to go this way. So you see now I've got a line I can work to, so that giving me a bit of a triangle shape there, see? And I can gauge where my sort of square shapes are going to be. Any more? Another one there, look. A bit there, a bit there. So I've got a bit of a grid. Okay. So if I look at this one, I'm going to do similar. So let's put a diagonal in there. But I'm going to go a little bit smaller. It just sort of fits the proportions of the shape. So rather than have them going in exactly the same way, we're going to go, oh, I went over there. Going to have them a little bit smaller, see? Same again, let's form that triangle at the top there. and then gauge where your little shapes are coming down. So we've got a little grid in there as well. Okay, so 2 grids. So let's have a look at this one first. What I want to do here is, sorry, it's a little bit blurred there, isn't it? Normally we would put like a little square in like this and fill it. But what I want to do is I want to put curves. So if you imagine that square, we'll then put curves either side. And let's fill that bit in. So I've got that kind of a shape. So it's a bit bigger than we'd usually go. But it's going to create a slightly different design. And of course, if you want to use a slightly thicker pen for this, you can do. So slightly curve the edges and go a bit bigger than we usually would. And in we go with those. And into those. You see how it just sort of creates a slightly different design then. It started with a bit of a square shape, but it changes it a little bit. See? You can do all your shapes first and then fill it if you want to. Or you can do as I am and carry it on as you're going. Whatever works, you're going to get a little bit on there. So this is the best of both worlds today. You've got a bit of a grid and you've got your organic mix together, and I think that's a pretty good way of harmonising things, is to do a mix there. And of course, I know some of you won't be doing this tile live today because you'll be on your way up to HQ and classes this weekend. Looking forward to that. Okay, I've got some cracking pieces all lined up ready. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit there. Looks following it down. So we've got that kind of shape. I actually like how that one's a bit bigger. I know the others are a bit smaller in comparison, but maybe I could come in and pick on a couple. Just enlarge them a little bit. So I'll go, so I've got slightly different ones. That's good. So this one, really small, so we couldn't really do this. This design wouldn't, perhaps, unless you've got an O2 pen, that would probably help that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dots in. So instead of squares or anything else, wherever the lines meet, we're going to add a dot. And that works for these small areas. It gives it a little bit more interest. You could always create a checkerboard and fill every other one in and things like that, or stripes. Oh, could go dots. Each one. Where's you work your way around there? Okay. So at this point, I'm going to put my lid on my pen. I'm going to bring my regular pencil in, and I'm going to give it a little bit of shading. Okay. So first things first is looking at this original line that we did here. So wherever they cross, so see this one, it goes under there, just at this bit here, I'm going to add in some pencil. Okay. So all along that line, wherever they go over or under, we're going to put that bit in. Okay, and torch onto hand. I'm going to soften those out. It's not too far up. I just want to give it a little bit of a gesture there. So we'll work our way around. And there. So we're working my way along. Those little bits. Okay, so we've got a good starting point. So we're going to continue with pencil now on this side. So where I've got my little shapes here, I'm going to put like a little highlight on. And it doesn't matter if they're all in the same place or not. See, a little bit of pencil there won't hurt. And along we go, putting putting those in. See? So wherever, let's have a look now, wherever I've got one of these shapes, you see this is going underneath this one. I'm going to add some pencil there. Again, it's giving it that idea that it's going underneath something. A little bit of pencil there too. And that gives us that kind of idea. And while I'm here, I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to come in with quite heavy, just sort of on the 2 lines there, you see? Might as well do the same with this one, but instead of doing the top and the left, I'm going to do the right and the bottom. Okay, and the bottom. Like so. So let's bring our torch on it and let's soften all these little bits of pencil out. So when I come to the little bubbles here, just swirl it round gently. Don't want to fill the whole thing. We're just going to swirl that pencil just a little bit and allow it to sort of move around the shape, but not filling the whole thing. Same with this one. See? Once you've done one, you get the idea. Of course, you know, you could always put a little bit on and do it in 2 layers, whatever you're comfortable with. If all else, you could always rub it out and do it again. It's only pencil. But entirely up to you. You see? And in there. So it doesn't take long to do it all. Wander in and into there. So of course, when we've got a large area like this, I'm going to swirl it and just work on those 2 sides. And the same with this one. I'm going to swirl and just work on those 2 sides just like before. Okay. So far so good. So I'm going to bring my white chalk pencil in. Just because it's a nice one to work with, certainly when you're on a darker cardstock. And where I've got this shape here, I'm going to come in along that bottom edge. Again, I'm not going to be too shy with this. Let's get some on. Round we go. So it's on the, you know, the opposite edges or opposite lines. Same with this one. So what I did with the pencil before. See both sides. That's it, let's get some more. Now, I'm hoping in my pack I've got a clean tortillon. I think I've got a row of about 6 of them at the minute. Let's have a look. Oh dear. Not really. Not to worry. This is always the case, and you've got a white tortillon. It always ends up being for graphite. Okay, rubbed a bit off. Let's clean up and add a touch of softness, just gently round. Just got a little bit going over the outside there. Don't want that. And same sort of thing here. So we're just gonna work it round. So I've got a little bit of a highlight there, see? Okay. Oh, that's where I went over with pencil. Remember, I'm gonna go a bit darker on that edge and that edge. Same there. And there. Okay, so that's sort of my little bits of corners. So how about a little bit of colour? What do we think? Let's bring in, decisions. Let's have a look. Oh, let's have a look at this one. I'm not going to tell you what the colours are. I'm going to let you wait and see. So bubbles. I'm going to come in, add a little bit of colour there. I do apologise. I don't know why it's a little bit out of focus today. Just happens sometimes. So let's just get a little bit of this colour onto these bubbles. There we go. And let's bring in another one. Of course, you can use your regular pencils for this. So I don't think you can't. You're going to get some fantastic results with those as well. but it would have been rude not to use them, wouldn't it? Right. Okay. And a bit of a brighter yellow here. Let's put those in. Just going to swoosh round. So look at those. Okay. Yeah, so hard not to go blend that bit there. Oh, couple up the top there. Okay. So next little bit then. Let's have a look at these leaves and flowers. I'm going to bring in a nice bright green here. And let's start with my little leaves and stems. Now I know I've already done a little bit of work on the stems with that pencil shading, but that's okay. This is going to work straight into there. It's going to be fine. Alright, so just putting a single layer over the top. I'm not trying to blend it or anything. See there, look, I've missed a little bit of blending out. And along and in. So I've got one colour on there. Not looking too bad at all. So let's bring something a little bit darker in and add a little bit of extra colour in over there. This sort of I'm not particularly blending it as such, just nice and light colour. It's giving me that two-tone effect on there. So see how it sort of works in nicely. Start adding little bits in as we go. There we are. And I can bring a middle tone in there if I wanted to. Look, and help to sort of work the pieces or the colours together, just in areas, just to give that a little bit of an effect. Okay, and then of course let's bring in, let's have a look. Got a bit of decisions to make. Let's go in with a little bit of this one. Just not going to colour the whole thing. I'm going to bring in a little bit of colour over there. See, just sort of flick it in. So it's extending those flicks that we did earlier with the, oh, missed a bit of a one more. Yeah, just extending those flicks that we did earlier with the pen. Bring in a bit of colour in. So these pencils only very hot off the press. They actually arrived earlier this week, and they'll be on Hobby Maker next week, and they've been developed specially for use on darker colours, because as you know we tend to use quite a lot of dark colours on our artwork and things. So I thought it'd be kind of nice to actually bring in some colours that we know that it doesn't matter what you do with them, they're gonna sit nicely on colour here. So just sort of adding a little bit in that top edge. This is almost the same colour as the tile, but it's going to give you that little bit of a finish. Okay, so back in with my regular pencil. What I'm going to do now is create a line all the way around this original. Okay, tortillon. Around we go. So having a nice sort of decent kind of a shade here, so it doesn't matter what is going on behind it. This is going to sort of cover that. Let's work our way around. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so ease off the pressure, and I'm going to go in with another row. Working it round. this side. Okay. And I'm going to do the same sort of thing on this side. So again, I'm going to go over everything that's underneath it there. I'll work my way around, following that shape. And then back in with my tortillon. And create this wonderful sort of shadow on either side. And straight over all the colour. But that's okay because the colour's going to sort of stay there and it's going to give that lovely shaded effect. And along we go. So I'm just going to come back in with my white chalk. You see where we've got these little bits here where there's no pencil or anything on there? I want to add a little bit of highlight on those edges. Like so. Any difference that makes. Okay, that one, I'm going to add a touch on that edge. So I'm not actually going to do anything in terms of blending that. What I am going to do though is come back in with my pen. And where I've got those lines, you see where they go over each other? I'm going to come back in, just over the white there. And I'm going to reinforce those lines. So we know that they were important to us. So sort of where you've got the white, just make sure you've got that strong contrast. See around the edge. You don't have to do the whole thing, just wanting little bits of it. See, sort of coming out into those edges there. That makes a difference. Just putting that black in. Just neaten that up. And again, I'm going to do a little bit in those corners. You know, just sometimes you just want to neaten it up a bit. It's a lot of work done to it since we drew them and filled them in. So let's put some of those back in and along. Okay, just one more thing. I want to come back in and I'm going to put those, you know where we put the dark shadow? I'm going to come in and go back with my pen on those areas, you see. And where I've got the white, I'm going to just do a little bit in that corner, you see? So not the whole thing, I've just done that little bit there. And same sort of thing here. One there. And one there. And then pick a couple of little spaces, see there? And then stop and then come back around and do a bit. So, you know, leave a few gaps as you're going. And where we've got that bit in the middle, I can come in and, you know, just sort of redefine a couple of those shapes. So we can see that blackness with it. Same with these dots. Just sort of, not all on, just a few in the middle there. There we go. So it's almost like a tale of two halves today, isn't it? It's got little bits of things going around for it. Just almost there. A little bit more pencil. So just sort of underneath this area here, just going to come in just a little bit. You know, just where we've got the white. And just a little bit around there. And just gently soften it off. It's just going to help that white to stand out a little bit more. In terms of a bit of contrast. And I think that's where we'll end it there. Okay, signature then. Where's it going to go? No, I'm going to go here actually. I'm going to put it there. So there we go. So if you're travelling up to HQ this weekend. Lovely. I will see you over the weekend. If not, have a good one. Enjoy this one and enjoy the weather. It's going to be nice over the weekend as well. And all being well, I will see you back here, or will I, on Tuesday? I'll need to just liaise with Chris for that. Just make sure that whatever times, because it's the 21st, isn't it? So I'll be on Hobby Maker with a few new bits and pieces. So if you like your frames and you want to have something a little bit different to do with them, or you like the idea of some pencils that will actually work on black paper, then it might be worth watching. So have a good one, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you soon.